Back here again with another comparison video, and today we have the AAR Ripper X's and the Brotherhood Guardian X's, and we do have the R's again to compare here with the Ripper X's. Both of these X series were new for the 2025 series. I think they dropped late summer, right around August or something. A lot of hype around these bags. So we're here today to talk about what the similarities and what differences they have.
Yeah, basically AAR and Brotherhood took their most popular bags, threw some mixed fill in there, changed up the fast side, and they have some new series. So we're going to do our best. There is a few differences in these bags, but I mean, they are pretty darn similar though.
Yeah, they have their similarities.
So we'll talk about speeds first, and AAR says the Ripper X is a 6 on the slow side and a 10 on the fast side. We think both of those are a little fast. I mean, this is a common slow side material. Maybe 6 brand new, but it doesn't play brand new. And then the fast side, it's just not a 10 to us. And if you go back and watch our Ripper and Ripper X video, you could see on the ramp that it was actually slower than the fast side of the regular Ripper.
They got nothing.
Yeah. And then Guardian X there, it's claimed to be a 5.9 from Brotherhood, and that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 to 5.5 on the slow side, but it's right there.
Materials here, and that's where we do start to see a little bit of difference. The Ripper X's are running the R carpet, and the Brotherhood Guardian X R's are running the clone carpet, the carpet that you see on the darts or the Wolverines and things like that. So both fast sides on these are part of the X change that was made from their original templates. Now there's, bead differences as well, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, so the Ripper X does have the same fast side now as the AAR Shockwave. And then Brotherhood Guardian X, it's the other 9-speed fast side that, seems to be a little bit softer. Moving on to the template, and there is, subtle differences with the template. I think that the main purpose was to have medium templates for both of them. The Guardian X's definitely stretched a little bit. So they're a little bit bigger than a medium template, but not by much. And then the Ripper X is a little bit fuller than the Guardian X is, in my mind. It actually weighed, a little bit more, but not much. And I don't know if that's more round beads in there to give it the fullness or whatnot, but it's definitely a little bit fuller.
Yeah. Fill and flop, and these both have a, plentiful mixed fill, right? I feel a little bit of everything in there. Definitely a lot of, the bigger beads, the round beads and stuff. Now they feel, just feeling through the bag, they feel pretty consistent with each other for the most part. But you can definitely feel the variety in there for sure.
Yeah, and then the Guardian X, it is a little bit more floppier than the Ripper X would be, and I think that's material stretching.
Yep.
So we'll mention something that stood out to these bags for us, and the Ripper X, it collected pretty well, but it was definitely more active than the Guardian X is, and that's, a little bit smaller template, a little bit fuller. But the Guardian X, one of the main things is you can get an L, R, or H version, which is neat because it goes to whatever, your preference is. Right. And that thing is just so drippy around the hole. That definitely stood out to me for sure, was how drippy it was around the hole.
And yeah, that's what stood out to me. The Guardians are definitely a little drippier, a little more whole bodiness around the holes. But the hand feel was the first thing and the biggest standout to me. The Ripper X's feel fuller. They are fuller, not quite as floppy. It's not a drastic difference, but it's enough. As soon as I grab those Ripper X's, I can feel the difference. And that's the biggest standout.
Something we didn't like about them, and it's not a deal breaker to me, but I'm just not a fan of this fast side. It's just something about the hand feel of it. I don't know. I don't like it. The only good thing about that is it is a little bit slower than your typical 9, so you feel a little bit more comfortable flipping it over, for that cleanup collect. And then the Guardian X, this slow side is just so thin for some reason, and I'm starting to think it might just be that color because we have white on the L's and we have black on the H's, and they don't quite feel that thin.
No, the H's don't feel anywhere near that. I call these bags tissue paper because it feels like you're grabbing a tissue. It's that soft, that thin. And now these have been thrown a lot, and these are one of my gamer bags, so that thinness has kept me questioning the long-term reliability of the bag. I mean, so far it's holding up, but it's thin.
So before we discuss the slide up on these bags, I just want to say that the bags are very similar. It's hard for us to say one of them's better than the other in a certain area because it is so minute if it is a little bit better. So we're just going to start with that. And if you could, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and it really helps us out and, lets us know that we're doing well.
All right, and we are going to continue to pin a comment here. So if you've thrown these bags and you've thrown them both and you have an opinion that's either the same or differs from ours, we love to hear from you guys. So let's all jump on that comment that we're going to have pinned to the top, and let's get some conversation going and see what else you guys notice about these bags that we haven't. Forgiveness between the two, and that's where the advantage is on the Guardians and in this category. It's just that much more forgiving. That thing, when it hits the board, it just lands true. It doesn't kick very hard at all. And the Ripper X is a forgiving bag. Don't get us wrong there. It does a great job with, not punishing you on off throws, but the Guardian X that's just where it shines.
And that's what we're trying to say. We don't want to say that the Ripper X isn't forgiving, because it is.
It is, right.
But the Guardian X is a little bit more forgiving.
Yep.
And whole bodiness, we also think that the Guardian X has a little bit more whole bodiness, and that's what we said earlier. It's just super drippy around the hole.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of exaggerated now that these have stretched out a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think the Ripper X's haven't stretched out like the Guardian, so I think that kind of helps sway that whole bodiness. Collectability, and I really didn't have a problem collecting either one of these bags. To me, if I had to choose one, I would say the Guardian, but these are my gamer bags, so I'm a little biased, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't think you had really a preference to you. They both collected very well.
I didn't see any difference in collecting either one of them. I really couldn't decide on which one was better at collecting. That leads us to capable shots, and so this is the Ripper X's biggest advantage. I think the Ripper X is more of an active bag, and it's more capable of making fancy shots than the Guardian X is. Not saying you can't with the Guardian X. Right. I just think that's what stood out with the Ripper X over the Guardian X.
I agree. The Ripper X is one of the more fun bags I've had thrown to do cut shots with. It's just so fun the way that thing cuts and how consistent you can be with it. It's a blast, and that's my favorite part of that bag. Cost on these, and we're looking at about $85 on the Ripper X's and about $100 on the Brotherhood Guardians. And that's without any discounts. That's just kind of MSRP price on the website. So that is a pretty nice nod towards the Ripper X being about 15% cheaper.
Why would we recommend these bags? And I'll start with the Ripper X. It's an active bag. It's priced right. Yeah. And like he said, it's real fun. I mean, it makes you look better when you cut a bag as well as you can with that Ripper X. The Guardian X, the fact that it comes in those different fill, levels, and that way you can get what your preference is. I mean, that's pretty neat, and it's a great bag at that too. So an L version is going to be a big time hole runner.
Right.
The R version, it's going to be kind of fun, and then the heavy, which he's starting to find out, is that it's a pretty active bag, and you're going to be able to do some things with that one. So we're going to end this. If you're going to be average at something, may as well be average at cornhole.